All right, we live, fellas. So welcome to Mr. Butters Man Equality. I'm your host, Bala, aka Mr. Butters, and today we got on the panel, we got Brother Supreme, Tommy Max, and Brother Nevis. So we're gonna go ahead and let Supreme introduce himself, tell you a little bit about him, and go down the line.
Yeah, what's good? What's good? It's your man, Stash Supreme Madison, owner and founder of the Closet Junkies. We the authentic hip hop retail and apparel company. So, anything your favorite artist is wearing, they got it from us. Plain and simple.
Damn straight.
All right. Next we got Tommy Max.
Aye, aye, Captain. Tommy Max, uh, BKA, Tom Gat, um, MC slash barber extraordinaire at Max Out Barbering Services and Consultation via Butters, the hip hop barber shop.
Brother Nevis.
Brother Nevis Peace family. Um, Brother Nevis of Sky Blue Pyramid, Cook Everyday Studios. You can hit me up, Brother Nevis, on Instagram. It's right there on my handle, spelled just like that with the underscore. Um, Audio engineer, MC, producer, visuals, all of that. And a man of quality.
No doubt. Okay, so today's topic is about sexual responsibility.
Hmm.
Heavy, heavy.
Yeah, and
Okay.
so we're gonna just talk about what is sexual responsibility. Anybody can take it.
um,
Woman's
let's put it
Trying to
plain and
adjust
responsibility.
my
simple. Dick
volume.
control. I mean, let's put it plain and simple as dick control.
Yeah, for males, yeah, for sure.
I mean,
Agreed.
if you want to just keep it trill, keep it godly, that's what it basically comes down to.
I'll see it a little bit more than that because it's like what happens after you don't exercise that? What is the aftermath of that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do. That's a serious component of it, but what's the aftermath of that? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's
What, what does that look like in practical terms?
death or a baby.
Death or baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's
Those are
I call it the sweet death. You know what I'm saying? It feels so good to die that way. You know what I'm saying? To bust that off. So
yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, I'll let y'all have that, but I ain't trying to die in no type of way. You feel me? So if I gotta keep my seed to myself to live longer, hey, it is what it is. But
Okay. So let's get into it then because me and you, Trey, we were talking the other day. We were talking about and Tommy, we were talking about how that first one it kind of leaves an
yeah,
impression on you for the rest of your
yeah,
life. So I
that
think you came up
look,
with the phrase that I think you go ahead with the phrase that your pops told you.
look, man. My pop said never. We keeping it real, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I mean,
watch the language.
to some extent. All right, so in all respect to whoever viewing this, I'm just gonna say how it was told to me. My pops told me, never stick your dick in a woman you ain't trying to spend your life with. Plain and simple.
I wish my
Because
pops.
when you break that threshold of a woman's vagina and it's her first time and it's your first time, that right there, you are signing a contract with that woman that says, this is my first step on this journey. This is your first step on this journey. We're gonna do this together. I don't care what happens after that. You may never see that chick again, but think about it like this. I'm sure all of us can think about our first time. That's the one thing you never gonna forget. So I mean, when I have to think about that, I tell people like, yo, sex feels good. It feels wonderful while you're doing it. But I know for a fact none of us are thinking about the repercussions afterwards. And
Yeah.
that's just real talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because we all got kids. I
Yeah.
know we do. You know what I mean?
I
Now,
agree.
the truth is, and we gonna be honest men about this. Did we all plan our first child? Raise your hand if your first child was planned.
Nope.
It was planned by Jumping Jehoshaphat in them.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
To speak to your point,
I'm
to
just being
speak to your
real. I'm gonna be real with you. I wasn't.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no.
just
That's a
and
because
resounding no, I think, right
and
there.
Yeah.
then
we taught to just go out and be men,
yeah,
so we don't get any spiritual orientation behind that non-verbal agreement that you was just speaking about. That's a
you don't.
non-verbal agreement when you know what I
Hey,
mean? And y'all, neither
what
one of y'all know what you agreed to. I just know that I want you, you want me. You know what I mean? So
hey, what the
yeah.
what the what the brother Supreme said, man, I love that. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna hit my son with that. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Hey, each one teach one, man. 'Cause I
So
wish,
I just add that to the repertoire right there.
I wish I had been at the mental level to really understand what he had meant by that when he said it to me. You know what I mean? Like because now at the age that I'm at, I look back on a lot of my relationships and I'm just like, damn, why was I really with this person? And it's always that hindsight. Hindsight is 2020.
For
All
sure.
day.
When it comes to sexual responsibility, bro, your hindsight be crystal effing clear. And it's
Yeah.
remarkable because now you look at like I look at my kids and I be wanting to just tell them, but then I'm like, nope, I ain't telling you squat, bro. Because
So
if
you
you
gotta
if you
forget.
anything like me, you ain't trying to hear what I'm trying to tell you. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be real with you, boy. What I am gonna do is like, but see, the bad thing is I got daughters. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it ain't about what you doing to somebody. It's about what somebody gonna do to you. And like I said earlier, when you have daughters, man, that's an atonement for any man that's got kids. For any man that's got a daughter, and you know for a simple fact that you've done some wild shit in your life to women, you having a daughter is an atonement for all the things that you've done. Because now you got to be worried about are those things gonna get done to your daughter?
I got three of them.
I
Yeah.
got two,
So just
and I'm
just think if we, regardless of how old you was when you started having sex, just think how different you would respond if somebody told you everybody that you stick it in, their energy is gonna stay with you for the rest of
for
your
the
life.
rest of your life. But that's
How
what I
you
want to
would,
bring up
oh, but
too.
hold on. It goes deeper than that though. Not only do their energy, but the energy of
for
the person
everybody
they
who
just
they
had
sex
sex
with?
with.
There you
Right.
Hey
go.
man.
So when
Hey,
you walking around mad and you don't know why, or you walk around sick and you don't know why, I'm guaranteeing you that's the last thing to come to your mind. It's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
I just
hey,
smashed old girl and she
hey,
Fact.
told me she just got
hey
out of a
man.
relationship.
Hey, I got something to say. I reject everything y'all said. I rebuke it in a fat in them. No disrespect. I don't have to accept that.
You don't have to. It's
You don't have
cool.
to.
No,
Yeah. Just
I
Yeah.
don't
like
have. I
On
don't.
you.
Hey, hold on, hold on.
The
Go on,
end
some brother
result
King.
is it's the outcome is what we
go ahead
look
and finish.
the outcome is what we're looking at. Like
Okay,
I was saying is the first person happen to do that act with, it sets a template of who you are and what you're gonna be
Yeah.
immediately. You
Mhm.
immediately become something at that moment, and that person is who you walk through the rest of your life, kind of like that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you started out like let's say a guy that started out at like let's say 13, or he started out in as a freshman in high school, and that was the height of his situation. He
Hmm.
stays 13 even though his body matures, and he may work a job, but a part of him stays 13. You know what I'm saying? Then you're adding on other women and more women who like a thin layer of each individual you put over. So now you got this
Mhm.
impression of what you was in the beginning. Still there, like
Look,
we don't go through a maturity level enough. Go
Hold
ahead.
up.
me.
I gotta come out of left field.
Go ahead.
I'm Captain Left Field, aka Captain Obvious, aka yeah. So
This.
now this is yeah. So my first uh experience, intercourse, like real. Um, I was extremely underaged. Extremely. Single digits.
Same here.
It wasn't consensual
No, mine was.
at all. I was so young,
So you talking about trauma?
I guess.
Well, see,
At,
that's a
I
different
mean,
monster.
look, I never
That's
considered it
childhood
trauma.
trauma, yeah.
I never considered it trauma. Never, never. Even after, like, I recently, considered it uh to have an adverse effect on me, even because it never really bothered me
That's what I was gonna say next. Did you
per se.
consider it wrong when it happened?
Nah, not
Okay, do
really.
you
It
consider
was
it
my
wrong
babysitter.
later?
My
Now,
babysitter. It was my babysitter.
yeah. See, so
Wow.
it's
Female,
a matter of perspective.
teenager.
If it's
But
somebody your family trusted, you know, then that'll change your perspective because you might have
yeah,
empathy for this person. You know what I mean? And a part of you is like, okay, thank you
Never
for
look,
introducing me to the world of that.
man.
But
Look, hey,
but
even after I, you know, I never. I recently started looking at it like, you know, man, I guess that wasn't cool type. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you
I just
what.
recently was like, damn, that was crazy of her. You know what I
so
mean?
being
You
honest,
know why? Because look, organically, anatomically, we are creatures of physical habit, right? So think about it like this. Not to negate your experience, but just think about it like this. If your first experience with a girl, she made you really, really work to get it. Like this is your first time you ever had sex. And she made you wait, work, get to know her. Y'all had to do the whole, she literally made you court her, right? In your mind, you're like, damn, is this what it's gonna be like? So when you develop that as a pattern for every woman that you're in a relationship with,
That's what I'm saying. Yep,
that's
that's
Yeah.
what
so now in your terms, with that being the first time that your body ever had that experience, your body now expects every experience to be like that.
that was going to
Because
be
your
my point.
body, even if you didn't choose it, your body now has developed its own pattern of development. Because now
That's
it's
what I
like
was going to kind of say.
now it's saying, okay, this is how sex is supposed to be. A woman is supposed to come to me and tell me or take from me what she wants. So now when you with a woman, you're not necessarily in charge because that first time you're going in your mind, you're gonna go back to that. Well, she's not doing what this first time did. So
Now,
she
on the contrary,
That's
I
what I
like
was
take,
about to
I
say.
like take, I
That's what
like
I was
take,
about to say. So
I
listen,
like taking.
that
Come here.
goes to
or
show
that.
you.
You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
one at a time, fellas, because we can't hear. Just jump it up, but one at a time. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ty.
I was saying that goes to show you. Usually, in a traumatic experience, what was done to you, you
Is you
end
do to
up
somebody
doing
else.
it
Yeah. Because you
and
use it as a
to
form, as a
somebody else.
defense mechanism.
Yeah,
However,
yeah.
I don't, I don't, I don't like taking it forcefully. Only, you know, forceful energy, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Simulated. You know what I mean?
That's
I'm never.
Naturally,
You know what I'm saying?
What's,
I've never.
naturally, yeah.
what's your sign, Tom? What's your astrological sign?
I have a few, but hold on a second, man. I'll tell you what I mean. Like
yeah, break it down.
it's always consensual. It ain't never been a, oh no, Don't do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Hey, with it. You know what I'm saying? I grab it, you know. Yeah,
But you're not
See,
ashamed to set
it
it
ain't
off.
never no pushback. Like
see,
it's never
I'm gonna
been no
ask you why I said that because I know exactly where Tom coming from. Me and
thank
Tom are the
yeah.
same person because it's like you want a woman, you want that physical interaction, but you want it to be like where y'all wrestling, but she's equal competition because that equal competition is what makes you turn like, oh, you into this?
No,
Bet.
sir. Listen, I wouldn't even want to be with a female that was equal competition physically for me.
Not physically, but like she ain't really like, oh, don't hurt me, playing a damsel in distress type joint. Like I
Okay,
don't want you to just
she matching my energy.
yeah, but I don't want you to just be like, oh, take over me. No, I don't want no just I don't want no pillow princess. You know what I mean?
A pillow princess.
I don't want no pillow princess. Don't just lay there and let me have at it. Like make give me energy. Give me something to like really make me feel like you really want this. You like this. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Because
I hear you.
as a man, we want a woman to give us not necessarily competitive energy, but give us that energy like, oh, this nigga's really, oh, okay, let's go, let's get it.
Reciprocity.
I wanted to say that,
I agree.
but
I agree with that, but and only to a certain extent because, like, at an age when we all started young, we had no concept of what was taking place when we did those things. So there's a part of
that's
us
true.
that's a higher consciousness that knew it wasn't right. So and then another we both good and bad, right? You got that good side, what we're gonna call the God aspect, and the devil side, which is the bad aspect. The God aspect, no, you shouldn't be doing it. But the devil
Mm-mm.
aspect, then you was like, fuck that.
No, no,
She took advantage of me. I can't wait to have my turn. You know what I'm saying?
no.
And it ain't that you go out and rape nothing. Nah, that's. I mean, I shouldn't use that word, but you don't go out and take it forcefully. But your mind state is on a passive aggressive. I have to control and dominate. So sometimes, like when people do you, like when especially in our lives as men, when women do us dirty, we become male chauvinists. So we start to
Yeah,
push that type of agenda towards pushing back on women. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with that because if you do the history, the first woman that was made for man was exactly the woman we talking about. Lilith was the woman originally made for Adam. And the only reason she was banished was because she refused to bow down to Adam. She told Adam, like, fuck that, nigga. If we gonna fuck, we gonna fuck. If we gonna
Watch
love, we gonna
your
love.
language.
I'm
Watch your
sorry.
language,
I'm
bro. Yeah,
sorry.
'cause we,
But
it's gonna hurt us up.
Lilith, okay, put it like this.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. If you wanna put it on the layman's terms, Lilith to me would have been Adam's first black woman because she was like, I ain't about to be your subservient. I ain't gotta be your equal, but you're not about to just manhandle me any kind of way. Whereas Eve, she looking like, I'm here for you. I'm only here for you. I'm here to serve you. I'm yours. Lilith
But
was like, yeah, I'm
She wasn't. She was cheating. She slipped
but
off with that slick
but check this
talking, that
out.
slick
Check this
talk.
out. I bet you had Lilith stayed around, Lilith wouldn't have cheated, but Lilith would have made Adam work.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Now,
nother
now
story. That's
ask
Yeah.
but see,
getting
ask
off.
yourself this. We all know. Let's be real. Do we want that type of woman that's just really gonna give us everything we want and be that doormat? Is that what you really want?
That's a whole nother story right there. Like that's
That,
getting kind of off from
no,
the
that
point.
goes into sexual responsibility because if a woman is willing to give you everything you want, if you as a man can take it, then where's your limit? That means if a woman, let's think about it like this. We're gonna take sexual responsibility. We're talking sexual responsibility and limits, right? We all watch porn, right? We all watch porn. Yes or no? Be
No,
real.
have
None of
before, but don't now.
in your current life, are we
Nuh-uh.
Nah.
have
That's my
any of
answer.
us
Nuh-uh.
watched porn?
Have I watched it
Of course.
before? Yes,
Of
we all
course.
have.
Yeah.
So
But do
let's
we
be
do it?
honest.
nuh-uh.
When you watch porn and then you go have sex with that woman, none of what you watched plays in your head.
Shit.
Exactly. So all the perversions that you have now seen play into your sexual responsibility because now you're like, well, shit, I want to try that,
And
even if it's wrong.
we've been through
You
that. I think it's safe to agree that we all experienced that at some point in our
That's
lives.
all I'm saying. That part that
Okay.
plays in your sexual
Okay.
responsibility because then you got to think about is what I want to do to this woman. Does she want to have it done to her, and vice versa? When a woman wants to do something to you, do you want to have it done
The
to you?
whole act of watching porn is perverted anyway. The fact that
Right.
you're
So
watching someone else uh do
Would you
something
say? Would you
and
say
then
it's?
learn from it is perversion in itself.
So, with
Take that,
Would
that
you
being
say?
said,
Would you
you've
say
already
it's? Would you say
compromised
it?
yourself.
So you say it's sexually irresponsible to watch porn?
It
I,
is spiritually, it is. It clouds you spiritually
I was just about
because
to
now
ask you that.
you're thinking about you may be having sex with your girl, but you are mentally imposing a whore. You know what we're seeing on TV is somebody being abused. You're imposing that on your girl and treating her that. Now we all know, can we all agree that when you're connected, sexually, there's a mental dialogue that's going on between the two.
Hmm.
You're dialoguing to her that I want you to be like this woman I saw doing this. Even if you're not saying it verbally, there's an unspoken conversation going on, and she may not ever been uh dealing with life like that. Then we turn them into that through conversations of the unseen knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Unseen conversation we're having, we're turning them into that. So, like, I'm going back to the whole thing. If it starts with man, it starts with a man. If a man is perverted, he gonna pervert his woman. And if he's on his quality, he's not gonna want a woman that's been too perverted. So that takes me
That's
to
true.
we
That's
all
true.
know what a cosmogony is, right? Not
okay.
cosmology, but cosmogony.
Mm-hmm.
It is the blueprint of the way a society will conduct itself knowingly or unknowingly, no matter what you what your religious base. If that country's cosmogony is, let's say, the Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
Adam,
Mhm.
and Eve. Adam was uh, uh, a guy that got with a woman. No, no. Let's not use Adam and Eve. Let's use Mary and Joseph.
Oh God.
Because Mary
Oil.
has a baby by God, and then Joseph takes care of the baby. So there's the basic structure in the country that supports that is there. That means that there's going to be single mothers and fathers to raise those single mothers. That is a perversion of sexuality all day. You know what I'm saying? So now
So
you're growing up in that society. So that's why you got a lot of simps. You got a lot of men hating on women because of that. You got a lot of women believing what they believe about how men are what they are, and they can do what they want to do. Because if Mary can do it, and if Eve can do it, why wouldn't you have a history of women that's structured around doing what they want to do? And that's why men will have to
Uh,
equality a little bit. But
uh,
yeah, so bringing it back, hitting the reset button to the original point. It's like when you first have your first experiences, you're not really old enough to discern what's good or bad. You're just dealing
mhm,
with what you've been programmed with. Now,
right.
as you get older, then you start to see, you can form the judgment, you know, after so many experiences, you start to see what's good and what's really bad for you, and then what you've been programmed with. And that
nah,
goes to what Tommy was saying. Your first experience might not have been one of your own choosing. It might have
Yeah.
been something that was done to you, which that goes into your programming. At the time, you didn't know if it was good or bad. You was too young to really discern that. But now that you're older, you're like, okay, that kind of went into my programming because that gave me the gumption to be like, I'm not ashamed. I have no shame in approaching a woman and getting what I want and letting her
Hmm.
know or setting it off. You know what I mean? Whereas
Mm-hmm.
other guys might have been that bashful dude, you know what I mean, who don't get no play. You don't get no because you're not assertive. You know what I mean? You don't
Mm-hmm.
True.
approach it quick.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like that brings it full circle to what Falah was just saying because we started bringing the programming, what we've been taught,
Hmm.
you know, these stories, these parables, you know what I mean, and the cosmogony that we've been given. But now we older as older men, we broke through all those brick walls and all those barriers, and we starting to reprogram. You know, we reprogram ourselves, Then we start reprogramming our children. But the main thing is reprogramming our women. You know what I mean? Because that's
Self
the first
first.
teacher. Just like your mom was your first teacher. Your babysitter was your first experience. Whatever woman who was your first experience, that's your first little boom. Okay, that's your first little program you go with. That's what it is. That's how I'm gonna get it again. Okay, I'm gonna get it again. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And again and again. Oh, here's a baby. Then
Right.
boom.
That's
Now that changes. Oh,
right.
whoa. That wasn't
See,
in the
that goes
original.
with what I got from what Trey told me about his pops is that first person you sleep with is you gonna carry with for the rest of your life in some
Yeah,
shape, form, or fashion. It like going what you said, Todd. That's your programmer. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
All
Hey,
right, now check.
that's like
Your
Let
programmer.
me let me add on. But now I want to add on coming from off of Taha because I'm left field, Captain Left Field. Dun, 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 dun.
Mhm.
So I got a lot of my education came from observation, females, cousins, sisters, aunts, mom, even uh, granny, one of my great grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just observative, uh, and like passively observative too. You know what I mean? Like I watch just to watch and be nosy, but then later on I'm like, you know what I mean? Like what is not even it wasn't even conscious. It was just paying attention after the fact. You know, if that makes sense, is because
Mhm.
I was just there. I was just present,
Mhm.
mhm.
front and center when stuff was happening, being said, and then later on, I recall it. You know, just having a good recall, and then it was like I put stuff together on my own unconsciously. You see what that makes sense? We
Mhm.
we do that. We do that just with male interaction. We do the
Mhm.
same thing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I had a whole lot of female interaction I did with that too.
Right. We noticed though early on the
Yeah,
women in our lives they either was um they either hid it or they was out front with it. That's what you notice. Some of your aunties was discreet with their men, other auntie was wide open. She out here. You know what I mean? But that's something that you seen early on because studying women, unlike men, women, they roll with that double standard. You know what I mean? I could be a hoe but still be at church. You know what I'm saying? And get all this respect. You know what I'm saying?
all
Whereas
right,
a man is like, nigga, you a pervert. Or you know what I
okay,
mean?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
The first examples that we get are from a false reality. Like
Yeah.
you can't be both, mama. You can't be discreet and be a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So
Ha- have
yeah.
any
You
of
kind of
y'all ever
can.
seen have any
I've
of y'all
seen that
ever
that's
seen
a,
the
done.
movie
that's
Vanilla
a
Sky?
program. Hmm?
Have any of y'all ever seen the movie Vanilla Sky?
I saw that once.
Yeah, I think when it came out, that was a good
In
one.
the beginning of that movie, Cameron Diaz, right before she tried to kill Tom Cruise in that car accident, she said something that my pops, same thing my pops has said when the minute you stick your dick into a woman, you make that connection. She said the minute you stuck your dick in me, we were connected. I was like, word. That stopped right there. That started me to thinking every female I ever was intimate with, the way they acted was based on how I gave it to them. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my homeboys in college was like, you can't be walking around giving a chick to 12. I'm like, what you talking about? He's like, when you give a chick to 12, that means you didn't get her full steam, the D. I'm like,
Everything.
what? Yeah. He said, and it was funny because he's like, You remember back in the day in Sesame Street when they had that song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's like, you can't be going around just giving chicks 12 all the time. It's like sometimes you gotta give her a 5. You may have to give her a 7. Sometimes you give her 8. But if you give her every chick the 12, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of crazy ass females out here because every chick gonna feel like what you just gave them was strictly for them. Not knowing 5 minutes or 5 hours ago, you didn't gave this last chick gave her the 12. So now she like, oh, this nigga just gave me the best day of my life. Oh, I
Hey
know
man,
I'm the only one getting it.
say, brother, on behalf of everybody who ain't giving them the 12, whether they want to or not, it's applicable to them too, man. You know, can't
Yeah.
give them the, whatever. Yeah,
But
Hey,
think
it-
about it like this though. When and we all let's be real, we all know when we in that zone and we really in that zone, we know when we got a chick where we want them. If you do that
absolutely.
to every female, if you did that with every female, and I'm talking about even the chicks you just hit when you was drunk, or when you were just like, shit, this is something to do, or if it was just whatever. I'm talking about every single physical, intimate interaction with a female. If you gave them that full the D,
The
then
full
yeah,
Monty.
you're gonna have some issues because you
but
got to think
but I
about what that
mean
what that significant what that
Signifies.
to them. Yeah.
okay. So that's coming from the perspective of promis- promiscuity, right?
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
hold
no.
up, hold up,
No,
because
I'm not. I'm
they
not saying
can't
for
give it.
being
If they,
promiscuity. I'm just saying, period.
yeah,
Unless
no,
you know.
no, it ain't. It
Let,
can't
let,
be
let, let him
period.
let him speak his piece. Let him speak his piece.
It can't be period, and here's why. Because if you're giving it to everyone, and it's only one, or say it's two, say it's even three, even, and then you was with them and you was serious, and it didn't work out.
Okay, if it didn't.
But
Okay,
and you only, you serious every time.
okay. So take that. Take what you just said right there. Take that chunk of information. Let's take those 3 women that you didn't gave all 3 of these women the D, right?
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, take into account how you departed from these women. Was it a mutual separation? Was it you left them, they left you, you cheated on them, they cheated on you? That right
It's,
there
yeah,
plays into it too.
yeah. I mean, it's merely hypothetical because I'm not the one to I'm not the authority on that situation, that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? That might be Brother Nevis. Somebody, a Brother Nevis right there might can relate to that, huh, Brother Nevis?
well, I would say this because I want to bring it back to the male aspect too of what I mentioned earlier on how we view, females. But we got those uncles that was either a player, he just
Hmm.
had a lot of women, but he wasn't pimping. He didn't have chicks out on the stroll, out on the streets.
That was my
So
grandfather too.
we differentiate between those two types of males too. Okay,
Yeah.
would I rather be the dude that just got a lot of women, or am I out here with them on the stroll? Do I got them out here? You know,
I
Real
call
fast.
and
that
yeah,
the ghost face syndrome.
you gotta, but it takes a different kind of programming to really be like, I got 5 women that I'm with.
I got to
They
get to a
go out,
charger, y'all.
they go out and sleep with other men and bring me money, and I'm good with that.
Hmm.
That's some heavy programming. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That you gotta wrap your mind around to even be able to function, because you
Hmm.
Yeah,
managing 5 different people's minds
Yeah.
and you keeping them all in a different place and perspective and dealing with them equally, but you're not because I keep them looking good, but no dough, right? You know, right? But then you got the
Yeah.
player, the player, you know, Bill Bellamy character, how to be a player, where you just got a bunch of chicks, you know what I mean? And you trying your best to keep them on the schedule so that they don't run into each other, but eventually that is going to wear you down, and we haven't got into the whole back to the energy part
Yeah.
of giving up your life force. You know what I mean? Every time you
So
giving it
let
up.
me ask
Like
you this
us
right here.
as males, we giving up 70% of everything, but they can keep having orgasms. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because let me ask the whole panel. When we go back to being responsible, are we being responsible knowing what you can do to a woman's body and you take her to the limits? Are you being responsible? Like, what kind of responsibility are you having then? Because a lot of times, like I was told that you can just have regular sex with her to get yours off, or you can bunker bust her. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, that's when they really get attached. So when we knowing that, we often do that.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of us that go in with just to get this nut off unless we weak. But if you got any strength or virility about you, you busting the bunker open to see, what you can do or make somebody
Exactly.
do. Now, where did that come from though? Because that's what I'm saying. Like that initial, like, is that really like is that like a form of punishment?
No, it's a form of dominance.
That's what I'm saying. To
But you're
dominate
not punishing
somebody.
her. You're
Listen to what I'm
you're
saying.
basically telling this
What I'm
woman,
saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If you don't have any type of spiritual connection with that woman, and you don't have any type of mental connection, and you want to dominate her, there's a form of cruel to be kind, meaning you treat that body cruel and turn around later with the sweet game to be kind. That is a form of manipulation if you have nothing else you want from her. You know what I'm saying? But if you was really trying to be responsible with your situation, I'm not saying you shouldn't, go down to the bunker every now and then, but that's what somebody that you're trying to establish. Because what happens is, I think it's a hormone called oxytocin. When we bring these women to these climaxes, they're releasing that oxytocin, and it creates it's like a bonding chemical. You see what I'm saying?
it
So
is a
we're
bonding
bonding,
chemical.
right? Listen, so
Mhm.
we're bonding with women that we don't even care. We just trying
Desire
to
to
see if
be
we
with.
can do
Right.
it. You see what I'm saying? And then we become the serpent in the tree. You feel me? That makes her do whatever you want her to do, whether she got a man or not.
Bruh. Um,
It's deep, bro. That was deep right there. I
Yeah.
shocked my fucking
Back to
self.
that
I,
programming.
I'm
That's
gonna tell you
yeah.
something I learned from the great Robert Nesta Marley. The greatest coward is the man who doesn't have any intentions for a woman's overall emotional being. Like meaning, like what you said, meaning I'm just coming in to get what I want and I'm a bounce. I
Right.
don't want. I
Yeah.
don't want to have nothing to do with you. I just want what you got between your legs. Now, what I thought about when I read that, I was like, "Yo, that's deep. That means if I haven't even really took the time to get to know this female, like I don't even know your name. I'm just gonna take you to the bathroom and beat it in. I'm going to about my day. That is some cowardice type ish right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk
Uh,
about
I would
Let's
say
talk
it's abusive.
about.
I wouldn't say cowardice, but I'll say it's abusive.
Well, yeah, because you talk about the PTSD, right? The post traumatic slave disorder. When you got dudes who was breeders, that's the reason that your master brought you, because you gonna breed for me. You gonna make me more slaves. Of course you gonna master the art of busting the bunker down. You know what I mean? So then that's passed genetically, you know, generation to generation. Your mama might have been the one that was broken, so she broke the kids, you know what I mean? But you come from that
That's
buck, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That seed, that stud, you know what I mean?
all
So
right,
that's
so
something that stays in.
so I gotta I gotta throw this out there. Um, because we talking about sexual responsibility. Um, now given because right now we kind of breaking it down. What all it entails, but what's the like? I'm looking at it. I'm always thinking of was I'm always thinking practical, tangible, because I always want to be able to show and prove what I'm talking about. And I'm my I'm coming from that standpoint and relating that being relatable. How do you make this relatable?
What, being
Make
sexually
people feel,
responsible?
yeah. How you make it
Ex-
related, and
I,
then
boy,
how you make it relatable, at this day and age with all the extra propaganda that they dealing with that we didn't deal with.
I got the answer to that
All right.
because I'm gonna tell y'all.
Outside of by example, because that's
No, no,
always
no. This ain't. I have. It's funny you ask that question because I sit, and I think about this every day. And I just had one of my young cats was dealing with this, and when I told him what I told him, it kind of made me sit back and think. The way you deal with sexual responsibility is this: you be very, very discerning about the people you encounter. And I mean by this, the woman I'm married to, I'm married because I had a belief in what her belief was. And her belief was, I see this man doing something that he truly loves and he knows he can turn into something one day. So rather than me say, that ain't shit to me because it ain't nothing now, I'm going to be with this man and help him build it to where it can be something, it can be what he wants. Now, for me, my sexual responsibility came in with like, okay, if I acknowledge the fact that this woman knows I don't have anything and she's still willing to ride with me, still willing to date me, be intimate with me, do stuff with me, just be with me, knowing I don't have maybe the material possessions, maybe the car, the house, whatever. I have none of that to offer you right now, but I'm working towards that. Sex responsibility on my end came in me saying, you know what? I'm gonna keep my dick in my pants now because I got a woman at home who is willing to do whatever I want to please me, is willing to play whatever role I want her to play to please me. Whatever video I win the scene, if I tell her about it, she's willing to play it out. If it's a porn, you know what I'm saying? My self responsibility came into understanding I got the woman I need, I want. All these other women don't matter, so I can keep my energy, my seed to myself and
okay.
give it to
Okay.
her.
Okay.
Now,
So I'm
now go ahead.
17. I'm 17, and you lost me 5 minutes ago.
No, no, no. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't lose you. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't lose you. At 17 in 2022, you either one of four things. You either gonna be an athlete because that's what the thing is. You either gonna be an entrepreneur, or you're gonna be a convict, or you're gonna be dead. Plain and simple.
Hmm.
Plain and simple. So if outside of them last two, you either gonna be your own business or you're gonna be an athlete or you're gonna have a job. So if you're 17, I'm telling you at 17, bruh, at 17, you want to get a job? Yeah. You want to have your own car? Yeah. You want to be able to be free, right? Yeah. How you gonna do any of that if you gotta take care of a child? Damn. How you gonna do any of that if now you gotta factor in you got Tisha, Tamisha, Tana, you got all these women that you dating, that you dealing with. None of these women are free, bruh. So anytime you go see these women, you gotta have some money. You gotta take this woman out. This woman wants her hair done. This chick wants her nails done. This chick need her muffler fixed. At 17,
Sorry.
are you, bruh,
Sorry.
at 17, hold up. You mean to tell me
Sorry.
at 17 in 2022, you really are trying to keep that up?
I'm
No.
telling you. I'm telling you that at 17 in 1994, it
You
wasn't a
said in
problem.
these
It wasn't a
times.
problem. And now I'm telling you at 17 in 2022, it's they are even more readily available
It's available, but do you
for
want
free
to?
for just a
Do you
little bit of
So,
want?
so let me
conversation.
ask you. Hold
Do
on,
you
Trey.
want to?
Trey, let me ask you this. Let me not ask you, but Tommy, let me ask you. What would be your uh way of dealing with that with a 17-year-old? How
Hey
would you
man,
approach it?
hey, I'm asking the questions out of I wanna get a good foothold on that myself, brother. For
And
real, because I don't have the
I'm telling you what I'm
you know,
telling you
I
exactly. because I
Yeah, I
listen to what
mean,
my daughter says.
I'm a freestyle. I can spit a couple bars,
My
catchy bars
daughter,
for him.
my daughter is basically my microscope to the world because my daughter basically told me, look, I used to be worried about my daughter having a boyfriend and having. She's like, I ain't worried about none of that. Why? I was like, why? It's like one because I want to be able to say I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. If I got a child, I can't do that, can I? I was like, damn, that's true. She said, two, if I got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they now not on my level to do what I want to do or to do what I do, then that means I can't do it with the person I want. So which means I'm not gonna have fun doing it anyway, right? Yeah. So why would I put myself in a relationship with somebody who's not on my level? Damn. Okay, that makes sense. And this is a 19-year-old woman in 2022 telling me this.
Well, that's not nothing new because women have they have a network where they teach these women that. So to let me try to add my 2 cents in, and then Ty, you add yours. But I think what it is these kids don't have enough to do. Their brains are not occupied with other things to do. That will be my approach. So what I do with
The ones that are out there.
yeah, the ones that are like, let me go back and let me bring it back. Then the only thing we can do is once we learn our lessons, we can raise our children with those lessons because they're gonna go
Hmm.
out into society. I can't deal with people that are not mine, but
Hmm.
I can show through my example and my son's example and my daughter's example of how they stay busy. Because I noticed that kids that got things to do, they're not out there trying to have sex. They have a mind on them. So you have to give them something to do. You can't take away the recreation of sex, which is rewarded by busting off one. That is the sweetest drug ever. So that's reinforcing that situation and try to take them somewhere else. You have to redirect them. Like that redirection has to start with the blood. That's my way of looking at it. You got to the
Exactly.
blood to go a certain direction. You can't redirect um, kids that are some kids that like you don't know what came before them, what bloodline they coming from. They can have things that's deep down in their blood you can't wash out with a conversation, but you can do better for yourself and change your seed because your seed is going to be the replacement of you in that society. And if we take
Hmm.
that approach, then it's each family, each man being more responsible. Going back to sexual responsibility, each man is being more responsible for what he's putting out. Because I can't do nothing about half the stuff we learned how to do wrong. We learned from other little rockhead kids like us. So
Hmm.
Exactly.
they're
Exactly.
not. So we're not. I think we have to understand that we're not to save everyone. We're only to put our own oxygen mask on first, and then hopefully the person next to you say, "Oh, that's how you do it," and put their oxygen because you can't do that. You only can do what's good for you and yours. So
True.
that's the way I see it,
True.
though. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I mean,
Mm,
look, it's
Awfully thorough
oh, definitely.
answer to that question,
And
man.
I'll piggyback of speaking towards the blood, like you're saying, the bloodlines. All of us here in this room, we was born after 1970, or right around in that time. So before that, it was clear that women are not equal to men. You know what I mean? That was standard. That was known. You know what I mean? A woman knows when she consummate that marriage, she go to work the next day in that household. After that, our generation, now it's this equality. You can do whatever a man can do. You can get the same job as the man can have. You know what I mean? So
You
it's
don't
going,
need him.
yeah, yeah, I can do bad by
Mhm.
myself. You know what I mean? Ain't
And you
nothing
know what
going
they
on
do?
either way. You
They
gotta have
stay
a
busy.
job. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So
they stay busy. That's what makes them
yeah,
conquer what
right.
they do. Now
So
imagine if
yeah,
we stay busy as just it's a thing for you to teach your 16-year-old, your 13-year-old. You teach him as if I'm dealing with the boys. You teach them to stay busy. You teach them to keep conquering new things. And you do that by showing them how you keep doing that. Like we
yeah,
have to be good examples in order to teach that. You can't teach somebody
right,
something you ain't walked through. You know what I'm saying?
right. And
So
and, and and
we
that was
all,
my point earlier because I even had a homeboy that we all know, somebody we
mhm,
all know, came and
mhm,
said to me like, "Man, I lost my wingman." And I was like, "Why you say that?" Because now I can't go out and do what I do. I was like, "Yeah, you can go do what you do. I'm just not gonna do what you do with you. I could be your wingman. I can sit and converse with a young lady. We can talk
Yeah,
all night. We can have a drink all
yeah,
night. It's just at the end of the night, I'm coming home to my wife. What you do with the young lady you with is on you. I'm still your wingman. I can still keep this other young lady occupied with conversation, whatever. But all that stuff that you anticipate that's gonna happen with her, I'm coming back to my wife. You know why? Because I don't want to have to deal with none of the repercussions afterwards of what that young woman may be after that night. And I think
yeah.
about that. I thought about that, which is why I got married. Because I got tired of having to deal with the after effects of getting up like, damn, now I gotta do it. And chicks be like, well, what do you work? I don't work, I run a business. You ain't got no job. That's not your business. Like I shouldn't have to explain to you what I'm doing.
There you
Nigga,
go. There you
look,
go.
put it plain and simple. You came to my house? Yeah. Were my lights on? Yeah. Was my TV on? Yeah. Did I feed you? Yeah. Did any of my power stuff work? Yeah. Then you don't need to be worried about how I keep it on. Just know when I get up the next day, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to keep it on.
Yeah. So
But
we all speaking towards the fact that we want to keep what it means to be a man, and what we want to impose on our children, what that means to us,
but
because
like
generationally that's changed
yeah.
after all. Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like he was saying, when women keep busy, that's my point. Is as men, we have to like really be honest with ourselves. If you feeling a woman, that's fine. Like my whole thing was the reason I'm able to go out and get my hustle on, because I'm not worried about other women. I'm not. I don't have to be anymore because the woman I have is the woman I chose, and she understands when I go out into this world, I'm hustling for us. These young
Mhm,
cats nowadays, they so
mhm.
focused on having two and three women. And my message is to you: find that one that's gonna see your shine, polish you, and keep you shining. Basically, because
So
you're
here's
not.
a good question: how many of us are dealing with younger women, and how many of us are dealing with women that's our age or older? Because
There's there's the
that's
question.
Check it out.
There's the question.
This and I got something. I got a stick in right there. Um, I'm starting to notice, and I wonder if y'all have too. And there may be some statistics we can grab for this. But older men, children are more advanced. The older they
the
are,
longer you wait.
they conceive that child is more advanced. It's
Because
like
your
it's
seed
more
is more
I
important.
agree. I agree.
mature. It's
I
like,
agree.
pardon me, it's like the seed is more mature,
Hmm.
and it would make sense,
Hmm.
you know. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
If going off of the blood's more mature, everything's more mature.
Has
Yeah.
more
You know what
information. That's right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm saying? More
So
information, more ability.
so now my question is: do you think it would be? Do you think it is more organically and anatomically beneficial for women to have children younger, or to wait until they're like 30s and 40s when they have experienced life more?
Mm-mm. Let me. Can I chime
Women
in
is
on that?
different.
Yeah,
Women are
go ahead,
different.
bro. And I want to chime in after you.
Me,
Yeah, you go ahead, and I'm gonna come
I
after
mean,
you.
okay.
apply. You can apply
I
that
say,
question to men too. Apply that question
Let him
to
check
answer.
it
men
Let
out.
too.
him
Check it
answer
out.
that question.
I'm gonna answer like this because women are different. Okay, the seed is more important in that sense. Say, let's use soil for example. You got old soil, been there. You probably got to till it a little more, but then you get you some new soil out the bag, the miracle grow stuff or whatever, right? So your seeds, the quality of your seed is going to determine what you grow.
True.
The soil,
Yeah.
the soil can be manipulated and it can be made conducive to the,
Mm-hmm. I
to the
agree with you,
seed,
bro.
to grow the seed.
I agree. So,
True.
So
so
I'm saying what I'm saying is, and this is theory. This uh is that the seed, the maturity of the seed is absolutely more important. It's the dominant factor
Mm-hmm.
in that
Mhm.
equation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Go
let
ahead.
me add to that.
You.
Let me add to that. The more experiences the man has, and the blood has that experience, right?
Yeah,
And so the first thing that is forms on any child in the womb, male or female, is the brain. So you're effectively passing your brain matter into uh, either quality soil, which is food, that's a food source, quality food, or it's a toxic food. So I agree with Tommy. If that's one way that if a man waits till he's a little bit older to have a child after he's achieved things, built something, he's given that child something other than a teenager's mind, because that's what's going to be born. The mind of a teenager is going to go inside of a woman, no matter how great the quality of her soil is. It's going to be still a teenage mind with less experience. But the more experience that that man has, like I have a few kids, man. I'm just gonna keep it real. Um, I didn't have them in teenage age, but I started at 20 something, and I noticed the ones that's in my later life, them suckers is brainiacs, man. They can see things that it took me years to see, and they got it like right now, living it. So I agree with the bro on that. That's the one good quality that if you want to raise our quality as men, you have a baby later in life when you know something, you've achieved something and went through something.
Mm-hmm.
You have a better chance of uh you know giving that baby you have a better chance of creating a world around us and a community with qualified individuals that's not going to repeat. They're not going to repeat the cycle of having babies young and dropping out of school and doing all that. They're going to repeat the cycle of accomplishing and creating the environment around them and making it conducive and civilizing it for more babies and females to and more men and females to come and be of quality, where we don't have that right now. We got poor quality having babies with poor quality and trying to change that.
I'll
Uh,
break that age thing down simple as bread and wine.
Mm.
check this out.
Women age like bread, men age like wine.
Mm,
That's that.
but before you say that, you know what? It's funny. You know when you think about that. You ever see that movie? Don't be the Wayans brothers. Don't be a menace. Well, the minute you start saying that, fly, it made me think about that skit, the part in that movie when he went to go stay with his father, and it turned out the father was younger than him. He's like, "Hey Trey, can you tell me a bedtime story?" And I'm just thinking, like, it's funny how now you got parents nowadays that their greatest joy is to say, "Oh, I got more followers than my kids." Like, man, it's just funny how the roles have changed now. When you said that, we got to definitely be more role models, but it ain't role models in the new term of social role models. We got to really be role models in how we go out every day as men. When your child sees you every day getting up to go do something productive, that teaches them, oh, that's what I got to do every day is get out
Yeah,
and go be productive.
Teach
check
them
it out.
consistency.
Check
yeah.
this out. Check this out. This is it's not a fresh theory, but it's it's picked up steam. And as of today, as recently as today, I feel confident putting that out there. Um, that like it's really a thing. The point of the maturity. And I had a guy in my chair today, client. He's 25. He's a firefighter. He was somewhat of a knucklehead growing up, but he got himself together. Man, you wouldn't know this dude's 25, man. He looks it, but his maturity level, how he move, super mature. Gonna find out. And he from a single parent household. His mom raised him. Um, Pops wasn't around for real.
Mm.
Super mature dude. I'm like, man, give your mom a hug for me when you get home.
So
However, pops 38 when he conceived him. His father was
Yeah.
38.
Damn.
So let
Just
me finish the bread and wine. What I was speaking on the bread
yeah,
and wine, just the physical maturity. I mean the physical aspect of men and women. Now
yeah.
come
Real
back.
quick, Ty, before you do that, I was just gonna say that uh the fact, just I just put that together like that maturity. You know what I'm saying? That maturity aspect, dude, 38, because statistically that single mother stuff that don't bring that statistically. You know what I'm saying? That level of maturity in a man. A man, you know what I'm saying? Especially a female raising a man child. Go ahead, Ty. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to throw that.
Yeah, I mean you're speaking to the same thing
Yeah.
because while it's better for a man to have a conceive a kid when he's older, a woman not so much
Nuts.
because a woman mentally we're going like this. We're going past each other like that because they maturing way faster, and we out here still being boys and letting the
Absolutely.
testosterone
Absolutely.
run through us. Where if they get a seed planted in them, okay, yeah, whatever level the man is at, that's where the kid is going. His blood is going to respond, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
He was
Check it
Mm-hmm.
out.
31, yeah, when he
And
had his
then,
son.
and then, and then, uh, anatomically, biologically, biophysically speaking, they are they
That's why
on
I said
Benjamin Button time.
it's
You know
bread
what
and
I'm saying?
wine.
They working
Your
in,
kinfolk
they
done it.
running out.
After a
You know what I'm
certain
saying? They on
time,
they on a
you're not
biological clock.
stable enough.
One at a
Yeah,
time. One at a time, because it's too. It's you can
My
barely.
bad. Go ahead, Ty. I just
yeah.
try to
But I'm
interject.
saying the same thing you saying because their body is not set up to keep having children after a certain age. Whereas at my age, Falah's age, we can still plant seeds. You know what I
Hmm.
Mm,
mean? Yeah,
yeah.
and we'll continue to as long as we stay on our dean, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Anointed.
Better seeds. Better
I
seeds.
think about that because they
Better
always say
seeds,
a woman
quality.
like my eggs are not as young as they used to be. Well, I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm
Once you
still
in
That's
that
saying
popping
that loaf
out.
window,
of bread. That's saying that loaf of bread ain't as fresh. That's all. That's
But as like he said, wine ages gracefully. So as long as I take care of my body and I can stay on my dean, I can be 7 years old still popping out
but
seeds
but you
because
know
I
what?
didn't took
What that
care of
also
myself.
says though, if those same men make girls. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Those same men not just make boys, they make women too. They make girls. So you can't take away the fact that food, the best food for you is live food. The healthiest food is living food.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get the best food you can get. That means that you have to be a farmer. You have to till the earth. You have to watch it. You have to make sure ain't no seed, no weeds are growing in it. You got to keep all the pests away from it. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to be taken care of. So in order to get that quality food, we got to really stop abusing these women and take care of them in better fashion. And that goes back to you can't bunker bust every female. You can't the whole 12 or whatever. You can't do that because in the end, you're not really gonna give nothing to her that's a value. You ain't nothing but a weed or a parasite or some type of something that's growing in that garden that's gonna have some other man gonna have to come up and take out. You know what I'm saying? So we just walking around basically um dropping seeds and some of the worst ground and then getting mad at the ground for not producing healthy fruit. You know what I'm saying? When it's up to us, we the farmers, we the intellect. Farming is a logical thing. It's not an emotional thing. You cannot go out into your garden and feel like you're going to plant this seed and it grow. You got to know the science of how it works and follow
Yep.
the science. Now, it's going to do based on the way you treat it and the way it feels as a plant in its environment. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
grow plush or it's going to grow. It ain't going to grow much at all. So we
Mm-hmm.
can't. I mean, I know I'm kind of sounding crazy, but I'm saying that it starts with the one. You know what I'm saying? It starts with that one that's up versus it starting with the two that take that one. You know what I'm saying? So if we the farmers, we have to really be farmers of men. Like that's why I be telling my clients sometimes I'm a hair farmer in order to ensure that I have a good crop. I got to I have a good life. I have to ensure that my crop continues to grow. So a good barber is always wants to see his client's hair grow, and always want to see that. And if we take that same approach and put it towards being fathers, women children are our crop. Women are the food source, and the physical intelligence, the emotional intelligence that we get from the soil, that needs to be taken care of too, because you can put you can take a quality mind and blood and put it in. If you put it into quality dirt, you're going to have a quality child. You know what I'm saying? That quality child makes a quality raises the quality of the community. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just my approach on it. But I don't
Yeah,
want to,
but it goes into the question that one of the questions that you was posing of being wary of a woman who can receive your seed with no emotional or mental connection. You know, yeah, be wary of that woman. Be wary of a male on the same token. You know what I mean? A lot of us have been raised, or not raised, from examples we've seen to where, okay, you don't feel like you're responsible for the seeds you planted. You know what I mean? Or because the woman don't have an emotional connection to you, okay, damn, now y'all terrible parents. Y'all don't agree to parent this kid. So boom, now we go our separate ways. I'm a victim of that myself. You know what I mean? I mean, not a victim. It's happened due to my lack of, my wrong programming or whatever it is that I have to rewrite. But that goes right to what you're saying, bro.
I said something like that earlier about be wary of a woman. Me personally, I'm wary of a woman who can have sex with a gang of dudes. That means you got a gang of niggas in you and you don't have no type of connection with none of them whatsoever. But on the flip side, if you got a dude that you can go smash every chick in the world, drop your seed in every woman, and you not be concerned about what gonna come out of that, them type of people I stay away from, because that means you have no connection to God. Because if you can walk this planet that free of responsibility for self, not only are you lacking knowledge of self, but now you lack concern of self and others. And if you like that, if I know you don't care that much about yourself, you damn sure not gonna care that much about me. So I'm not gonna be with you. Period.
Yeah, and that comes
Great,
from
great point. Great point.
our hip hop, our hip hop, which we haven't really brought into it, but hip hop helped raise us from boys to men.
What?
In so
Yes.
many ways, and we get a lot of our lessons and a lot of our ideology and a lot of the things that we dive into based off of our culture. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So, but what's so hard for us to find is women who came up in that same culture. You know what I mean? Like they've been, it really didn't appeal to them the same way. I don't know. That's just me. You know.
Hey, so
Because we didn't make it popular. We allowed the media and everything that we like to
Mm-hmm.
bastardize the things that we
Right.
have value. So,
Yeah.
coming, and we all came from strong parent homes. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I came from a strong parent home, but my values of certain things in life came from the people I hung around. Much
Good.
respect, dude. Mama
Mm-hmm.
Perkins.
No doubt.
She taught me the value of being who I was, but being the best of who I was. And that was a black woman teaching a
Yeah.
black man that you are more than what you are telling people you are, because your energy is already being perceived before you say
Mm-hmm.
a word. So
Mm-hmm.
be mindful of the words that you're speaking. Do they connect with the energy that you are expressing?
Yeah, never mind them upstairs. I know you like to sew. So sit right here and let me show you something before you go upstairs with them. Because they just up there rapping and smoking. You know what I'm
And she,
saying?
and when she did that, at first I used to get mad because I was like, man, I want to be upstairs. And then she
Mm-hmm.
used to be like, nope. I remember she came and stopped me. She's like, baby, come here, sit down. And I was just like, yes, ma'am. She's like, you
I
like
was
to
known.
draw, don't you? I was like, yes, ma'am. I heard you trying to start a clothing line. I was like, damn, yes, ma'am. I'm gonna teach you how to sew. And every day I came over there, she used to stop me in that big ass table with that sewing machine. Used to make me sit there and watch her. And I was just like, yo. That, and I told her when Taha made that post, man, I ain't gonna front. I cried, bro, because when I tell y'all this woman was the not to change subjects, but I gotta say this while it's on my heart. Mama Perkins is one of the elements of my biological being because she fed into me something that can never be replaced. And I had to say that while it was on my heart.
Yeah,
She's
thank
one of
you.
those stars and those planets that is part of the orbit of my galaxy. You know what I mean? And I'm forever in her debt for what she made me.
Yeah, bro. See, like I seen her since I stopped doing some things. I've been my lucid dreaming and my astral traveling came back. When I just broke from the situation that I was in, I had a dream with her sitting on the couch in the living room, just looking at me with her leg crossed. She wasn't saying nothing. She was just staring at me. Then the
Yeah,
other night, she finally came to me and gave me a hug, and I woke up crying. You know what I mean? Like, wow, like I missed them hugs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, she appreciates you for sure.
but that's another topic we're going to have to talk about too, though. That's
Yeah,
another topic we're definitely going to have to talk about is men and our emotional vulnerability.
yeah.
So I want to kind of keep pushing it a little bit more. Like, what are some of the ways we can recover once we've? What are some of the ways we have recovered and can share of how we, once we crossed over, over to having sex too young? How did we recover from that? What are some of your ways that you recovered from that?
Getting
I,
married.
I'm going to answer a question with a question. Have we recovered?
Well,
Even even if
let's
you're
do this.
married.
Let me go with what let me go with what Tommy said. Let me hear what he got to say because he said getting married, and that's an interesting point of view. And I want to hear what he got to say. And then
I'm
if
saying
I
that
got, then we go with the question. Go ahead.
I say getting married, not as um like a sure remedy, but for me, it's what I just really uh I really figured that that would be a great thing for me to do in that regard. If that makes any sense.
Hmm. Hmm.
How did it help you to recover from some of that? Basically, it's even though like I think somebody said it. It's trauma. It's childhood trauma. So how did being married help you deal with some of that trauma? Because that's you saying that helped you overcome it. So that I just want to hear your point of view on that.
I don't know about I wouldn't as far as trauma's concerned, I'm sure it helps with the trauma, but I was speaking uh oh, okay, well that I guess trauma would that could be it could be considered traumatic effects or whatever for if you spend a um you spend an extra amount of time, you know, thinking about uh thinking about sex, when you finna have sex, who you finna have sex with. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing this every day, that's a little excessive. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think, and I thought at the time, when I was factoring this in, I'm like, nah, that's not this. No, I'm good on that. You know what I mean? I'm good on that type of lifestyle, that type of mentality, that mindset. You know what I mean? Because it's you chewing up too much productive thought process in your day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
And if you,
that
especially
they taught you.
if you trying to get stuff done, on a man quality, you want to raise your quality, you can't do both, man. That's
Yeah.
Hmm.
can't
So
can't
marriage was something that helped you stop running from the reality that you can't keep living like that.
But
hmm
You
that
know?
feeds into what I said earlier
Yeah.
about sexual responsibility. If you know you got a woman at home and you know that woman can do and be whatever you need, be that freak in the sheets, and that woman on the streets, then that emotional, I guess, freedom, so to speak, allows you to go out and handle your business 110%.
You
Because
have
now you ain't got to worry about these little chicken heads out here. You ain't trying to impress them no more. You feel me? Now you like, I get this bag, I'm gonna take this bag back to my queen, and I can share it with her. Now I ain't gotta worry about here you go, here you go, here you go. I gotta grease all these palms now. No, I can take the whole bag back to the kingdom, share it with my queen, and now my queen can be like, oh, this what we got? Well, let me take care of the house. Let me go do this. Let me go do this. So now when I wake up the next day, going back at it. And when I leave, my queen tells me, nigga, go get this bag so I can take care of this house, so we can go take these trips, so we can do what we got to do. Now, I ain't got to worry about when I go out and see now these little cute whatever girls. Okay, yeah, you nice. But what is it about you that's going to make me leave what I got at home to come do with you? Like, what can you really what can I really get from you that I ain't got at home? Please tell me that. But then you got cats out here that got a good woman at home and still do the wrong thing. That's my
exactly.
question was. That's why my question was: are you happy, or have you even recovered? There's some cats out here who got good women and they haven't recovered themselves, so they
So
still doing.
let's still make the question of how can we recover? What do you like? How do we recover? Like some of us have.
I wanted to
Go ahead, Tom.
uh, I, I wanted to add to his, when I threw that out there, I said get married because, I figured that would alleviate that. And I was right. But I don't think, just like it really don't have much to do with a bag in my case because I wasn't dishing out nothing. I might go out on a date here and there.
Even if it's not money, you
No,
were
no, no,
giving
no. I
something
hear
of
you. It's
yourself.
and you definitely time and energy. Time and energy counts. I say
Yeah.
that's tricking. That's definitely tricking. You know, when you're not at a level you want to be at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So with me, it was like I didn't know that for sure. I just really, I just really, it was an idea. It was an idea that I was like, I just said to myself, me, it give me focus. It give me a focal point in that regard of in sexual responsibility, which alleviate a lot of my issues with sexual responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no focal point. I'm out here. I might have 100 focal points in one day. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you say, Ty?
Well, I would say first, I'm the only male in this group that's not currently married. You know what I mean? So, but that's not to say that's not something that I'm seeking, but I'm thankful enough that I've lived long enough, experienced enough to where I know that being out in these streets is not where you want to be in this day and age. You know what I mean? In any type of fashion, not like we was when we was in our 20s. You know what I mean? Because everything that we speaking to on sexual responsibility, you also tie in the woman of today and the man. Everything that we speaking to on sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, whoa, whoa, whoa. When you're dealing with these modern women, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You asking for everything that comes, because most of them are narcissists. Most of them is in love with themselves. They
Mm-hmm.
want, you know what I mean? They want you to look at them all day and see all the good things that they doing on their social page, but they're not giving you none of their toxic traits that come with them. You know what I mean? Once you get in their life, you know what I mean? So it's a danger zone out there, So with that, man, it's imperative that you find your purpose and seek out your purpose and make that your your focus, because if not, you out here swimming in these waters, bro, you gonna get pulled down under.
I think too, another part of a sexual responsibility is being honest with yourself. Like the chick you see on Instagram or the chick you see here can't be the chick you were dealing with, because if she was, then something would be different. It wouldn't be what it is. You know what I mean? Like everything can't be what you see. Like my grandfather told me, believe half of what you hear and none of
Mm-hmm.
what you see.
Mm-hmm.
And I apply
Yeah.
that to women and my sexual responsibility by saying, okay, I see you on Instagram, you're doing all this flossing and shining, but then when I talk on the phone, I'm struggling to pay my bills. But you were just on Instagram talking about you was on the cruise doing all this. But now you calling me, and I'm not saying talking about currently. I'm just saying if I was a young man now and I see what women are posting now, you can't ask me for help. Nigga, you was just on Instagram with a
Yeah.
Birkin bag and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I say for young men now, when I say be sexual responsible, is if you're gonna date a chick who's out there like that, first of all, know that she can pay for that lifestyle without your help. Plain and simple. Because then not only are you giving of yourself physically, now you're giving of yourself time, money, all of that, which is taken away from what your goal is. So now your sexual responsibility is pleasing her, giving her what she wants, whether it be the D, the bag, whatever. So now you done took away from yourself completely.
Hmm.
So now you're not even worried about self anymore. So my
Right.
thing is to these young men is do your homework, do the knowledge, get to know these women and these girls and whatever outside of what you see on social media, outside of what you see on the street. Take them to dinner, sit down and converse with them, talk to them, pick their brain. If they smoke, burn one with them, because that's when you're going to, if they drink, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, a drunk man tells no lies. Spark on with them. Get that third eye open to see what they're really about. If they fall in line with what you talking about and what you're trying to do for your life, then try something. If not, keep it moving. Don't be ashamed to say, you know what, you look good. I love to smash you, but I ain't willing to take that chance of what's gonna happen afterwards. And you know what? It's cool. Cause I'll
I
be
want
honest with you,
I
back in the
want to
day.
chime in right quick. I want to chime in right quick of some of the things that helped me to overcome my irresponsibility. And one of them is as we get older, we start to look at outcome
Hmm.
and what is the outcome of my actions. And
Exactly.
sometimes you can, I always say we need a model, and sometimes people think that means we need a model of how we should live, but sometimes you need a model of what you shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? If I look at the outcome of a person's information or the way they live their life, if it's an outcome that they're happy with or an outcome that I want, that's a good way to follow. But if you don't have that outcome, if you don't have if you don't have a good outcome and you repeating those same steps, you're gonna have the same outcome. If you don't like that, you gotta do something new. So one of the ways that I had to overcome that is one thing that we look at when we're young. We all jump into the sex game a little quick. Some of us do, some of us didn't. But if we look at the way we treat these women and the way we and you look at the way that the society is right now, because just think about it. The first community everyone is born into is their family. The family is going to be the precursor to how the community on your block is. And the community on your block is going to be a collaboration of multiple blocks in that city. And then all of those energies are mixing. And so the outcome of with that whole community, as far as people that you want to call your kind or whatever, if, when all those are coming together, we don't like the outcome. We don't like what we see in our women. We don't like what we see in our men. So we know what not to do. It's just sometimes it's easier. It's way easier to go along with something that feels good. It's
Mm.
banging out something feels so good, but it's so many other factors that are unseen that are taking place that um we don't have good outcomes from. And then going off what brother Max said, you're a young boy having a baby at a young age. The outcome of that baby being born it's going to repeat your same thing. The baby won't have enough history in his blood to make it worth anything of value for the community. It could grow to that. I'm not saying we can't grow, because one of the ways we grow is just always point at the outcome. You know,
Living longer and gaining more experiences. That's
yeah,
how we grow.
point out the outcome. And
Somebody got to do it sooner or later.
for these young boys, we as men are not pushing the agenda of, we don't want to talk about all this being kings and we created the first civilization, but yeah, we have a problem civilizing our own homes, and a king can't civilize his home and be a king without other people in his kingdom. You need other people in your kingdom to be an example for. So we're the worst example in our communities of what it's like to be men and women. And the kings and the queens in the environment, the outcome is they separated, they can't work together. And how do we expect these kids to do that when social media pumps it up? And y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So that's what my way of how I fix myself was looking at the outcome. I know one thing that the more you learn, going with brother Max said, going when you learn more, sleeping with different individuals, there's unseen things that happen. Like there's a cellular exchange, and that's so those cells have the history of who and what you are in your lineage of being made. So you're exchanging that information with another person, another woman who may have exchanged so much cellular information with multiple men. Those thoughts that you're having are the dialogue of those cells coming. That if you have like an acute psychosis where you can't stay focused on reality, it's because you got too many cells that your internal world is dialoguing with and working out through. There go what somebody said, you get an infection and don't know where it come from, and it comes out later.
Yeah.
So that's the unseen
Like
world, understanding our body on the cellular level, and that comes with
when you
knowledge.
when you see a chick,
Your children.
yeah, when you see a chick that acts out or that's like real animated or just appears to have no self control, ask yourself, would you really want to be intimate with that female? Like, think about those things. Like, think about how she acting pre the D. Now, think about what happens after that. Would you really want to deal with that? Those are the things that you got to think about when you're a young man. Now it's like, wow, like she fine, but damn, bitch crazy. Like, you got to think about that shit, man. Like, and I know, like Taha said, like Falah said, it feel good to be in it while you're in it. But I'm sure as hell, like, come on, bro. Y'all got to start thinking about, like, okay,
Man,
what
crack
gonna
feel
happen?
good to a crackhead,
Hey,
but it's
yeah.
killing them. You know what I'm saying? Alcohol feel good to an alcoholic,
But it's
but it's
killing them.
killing them.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
know
come
what?
on.
That smash feels so good, but it's killing us. It's killing our community. And the only ones that's gonna be able to it only takes the one that jump in it to stop jumping in it. You know what I'm saying? If we stop jumping in it so quick and just to feel good, we would give them a better purpose than to be a punching bag.
Ooh, boy,
Yeah,
look.
I'll tell you this too. I'll tell you this too, because somebody said earlier about making females. Your females be having your traits too. Your females be my oldest daughter. She's me. She's just like
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
And my point is, my point is, it we definitely covering both bases, both gender bases by raising our quality.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
We raising our own quality. We raising their quality as well. They
Mm-hmm.
have the maturity in being able to grasp concepts of this. I want a quality man, so I want to be quality.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is how I raise my quality as a female in order to gain the attention of a
Mm-hmm.
man of quality,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because that's what I want to. That's what I
That's
want to deal with.
that's a lifelong journey. You never are complete. You're always becoming. We're always focusing on how can I be better than I was yesterday. Even if what you are today, other people may not quite be at that level, you still can go higher because there's tons of people that are far surpassing your quality. So that's
There's
like an everyday journey, bro.
Mm-hmm.
there's a there's a floor, but there ain't no ceiling.
Yeah,
Mm,
sure. I
But
can't
you
help
have
it.
measures. You have measures though, and one of those measures would be your your cipher, your surroundings, your condition, your
the
living
outcome.
condition, your
Yeah.
financial conditions, your legal condition, your
Mm.
your peace of mind, your mental condition.
Yeah, I can't help but realize that we keep coming back to these guiding principles, whether they sayings or quotes from grandpa, pops, an elder figure in our life. You know what I mean? These things are what keep us grounded today, but they come from the generation before, like I say, after the 70s, when
Hmm.
everything changed, and what we continue with now, as being 80s and 90s kids, is the introduction of the internet and social media. You know what I mean? That
But
wasn't back here in Pop's day. You know what I mean?
but
So
to piggyback what you said, Taha. But the difference is now is you see the brothers in this room. Essentially, we all had a hand in raising each other. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
all had a hand in who all of us became.
yeah, right
So
to the point,
the
because
problem
that
is,
don't happen no more.
and I was just about to say that the problem is now young cats don't have that same support system. They don't have that
Mm-mm.
same core. Like Tommy said,
No,
you got to have that core. We all at one point was each other's core. We was each other's support
yeah,
system at one point. If not now or currently or will be in the future, that's how it's always going to be because we all understand who we are. Like I understand who Fly is in my life. Same for Tommy. Same for Nevis
yeah.
and vice
So
versa.
let's talk about how with the sexual responsibility, the culture of death now
Mm,
promote promoting death, gun bars, everything in your music, everything in your environment, all promotes death. So you can eat your way to eat yourself into the grave. Your thinking and all of that is toxic. So it's a death culture. The kids now worship death. They want to go catch bodies and get teardrops and tattoos. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So that
And
plays into it. You
to
know?
add into that, bro, I think having irresponsible sex is another way to die sweetly. You know,
Mm.
it's a
Mm,
good feeling behind that death because that's life force that you're releasing every time. And then to make it so bad, you're not even allowing a woman's body to process that. We are at the stage where we're putting it in a latex and throwing it away. You're just
right,
Mm.
throwing away your
right.
potential.
We haven't even mentioned the fact that the food and the drugs is turning men into women.
Man.
We
Mm.
are losing our men, like to the other side. You know what I mean? We losing our males. The masculinity, they're being emasculated, they're being sterilized with the
Mm,
crackination and the hokey pokey. You know what I'm saying? Everything that's out here is still
Gynecomasty.
There's a
yeah,
movement out there called the Emasculation Proclamation. And it
Mm.
started when they
that's
started
it.
allowing or promoting men to play feminine parts in movies, to do feminine roles. It started with Hollywood. With the minute you started making it, oh, that's gonna be funny. Even if it's funny, nigga, I'm not wearing no dress. I don't care.
No, they
Then you're
trying
not
to
gonna get
keep
this part in
kids
the
back.
movie. It won't. I won't get. You know what it is? It's tied into that having price, having knowing your value, basically knowing that. Oh well, we're gonna pay you this much if you put on this dress. Man, I don't care how much you pay me. I ain't putting on no dress. Oh, but then you don't want to make. I don't want to make that kind of money. Then that's just it. But nowadays we don't have them teachers. Now we teach everybody go get the money at any cost. And we tell them we don't mind you wearing a dress. It's funny. It's the cool thing to do now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real with y'all. All four of us, we was raised by the same generation. That shit would never be cool. I'm sorry.
No, we
Never
was taught
in any
men to be
generation
men,
will it be
men to
cool.
be men, right? But not now. They telling the kids you can be. Well, it used to be you can be whatever you want to be. You could be a doctor, a lawyer. Now it's you can be whoever you want to be. If
Exactly.
you want to be Jermaine, Today you could come out and be, you know, Tremaine tomorrow. Who's to say you can't? They try to teach the kids this in grade school. They
Yeah,
trying to teach them about masturbation and they 6 and 7 years old.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
that?
That,
You
Who
that
is
that's
know,
that?
what
And
happens when we don't be the quality of men that we need to be and protect our community. And I'm
and
that's
talking about
that's
the
your
household.
but
responsibility. That's
but
that's
Household
but
your
and before you
first.
responsibility.
say something, Fly, I'm gonna say this, and I gotta say this, and it pisses me off to no end because as a man who has daughters, I don't understand this. How we can condone Caitlyn Jenner or whatever this dude's name is, whatever y'all want to call this thing. We didn't told this dude or woman you're a woman of the year because you felt the need to come out and be who you were. Meanwhile, we got young black women who do not feel comfortable being themselves. But we're gonna let this dude decide he want to be a woman and then congratulate him for being a woman. Hell no. My
Everybody
daughter
gets an
is a
award,
beautiful,
whether you
beautiful
whether
black
you
woman.
whether you a POS or not, you still get an award.
You know what I'm saying? My daughter
Yeah,
is a beautiful black woman and questions her own beauty. But we're gonna tell this dude that you're a exemplary woman. I can't go with that, bruh.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
when the king leaves the castle, anybody can come on the land. And that's what it
Real
is.
talk.
We not in our castle.
Real
We
talk.
we in between. We build our castles in between these women's legs, and that's a Roman ass castle. We can't never find it. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
If we allow that woman
Hey.
who's never loyal to us, they beautiful and all they rights. But if you really understand one thing about a woman, she's loyal to her emotions. So the one who
Mm-hmm.
captures her emotions has her loyalty.
hmm
You're building your castle between her legs, it's no way that you're going to be able to support a kingdom because that kingdom is always Roman. So that means we got to
You
take
don't
out.
make love to a body. You make love to a mind,
That's
man.
where you get to the point where we have to take our responsibility as far as where we put ourselves. Meaning we can't go to every piece of land. Every piece of land is not habitable. If we
Nope.
call the woman the soil of the earth, she is Mother Earth. She's the soil. Every piece of land is not habitable. Some of it is inhabitable. Some of it is what's the word I'm looking for? Where it's it's
It's
Infertile.
uh
Put it like this.
Infertile.
I'm gonna tell you like
yeah, you know what
something.
I'm saying? It's
Can't
not
work
good.
with it.
It's not
Like
even
Yeah.
solid
marshland.
ground. You can't build it. You can't even build your house on
regulated.
it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The
Marshland,
sand.
Pop Woo.
swampland.
Pop Woo, rest in peace. Pop Woo taught us this back when we was young. The human diaspora is like the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? The human diaspora is like the galaxy. Every woman is like a planet. You ask yourself, is every planet a planet that you want to go visit? Is every planet a planet that you want to put life on? Is every woman a woman that you want to give life to? Ask yourself. If that's the way it is, if that's the way we see life as it is, and we're traveling throughout this galaxy trying to find inhabitable soil and planets, then every woman or every planet is not going to be inhabitable. You're not going to be able to plant your flag and claim that territory.
Yeah. Also, men got to get back to really being men too, and realize that you have to make them work for it. You have to make them, respect and chase you as a man. Because the minute you start opening doors and putting them on a pedestal, you lose the respect, the self-esteem. They put you in in a bag. Unless y'all have a mutual, you know, respect for each other. But nowadays, that's not really respected. That's not what they want. They want you to be a man, a man's man, and
Yeah.
say what you want. They want to see you going after what you want actively, being competitive out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, being productive. Yeah. So the minute that you start going into this whole, like I say, after 70s, now it's equality. Now it's equals. No,
Mhm.
we're not equals. We're not. Men is men and women is women. You know, we got strengths and weaknesses to help each other. But we're not equals.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and that's
I
one
don't
of
want
the things that we need to learn too. We need to learn what our strength is, not and like when I like to have conversations. I'm glad we're doing this here where we really focusing on us and not on those women, because when we start focusing on the women, we outside of ourselves trying to correct something that we can't change. But when we can change us, and correct me when last time I checked, this stands the way it's gonna stand. She comes around it. We don't change. What you born with is what you got. Hers is gonna fit whatever that pocket gonna fit whatever goes in it. So that means that we ourselves have to find our quality and stand on that and be what it is. And you're gonna find a pocket that fits you. You know what I'm saying? If
Hey,
it fits you, you'll be good. But if you just out there
to.
trying to change your mind change like that pocket do, you know what I'm saying? Every good idea come up, your mind change with that idea. You know what I'm saying? You can't stand firm and see nothing through. Like somebody told me one time, the only way you can see success at the end is if you stay consistent and go through whatever you need. The only way you learn those lessons is to go through the consistency of doing it every day. You have
Yes,
to do it every
yes,
day and learn the
it's
ups and
doing
downs
Yeah.
to have a clear IQ of what you're doing. But if you changing your mind all the time, and if we watch our counterparts, they mind change whatever the trend is. If they putting
Uh,
eyelashes on, they all got eyelashes. If it's okay to wear wigs, they all wear wigs. If it's okay now to become
mm-mm.
a mutant, transmutant, you know, all becoming that, and that's just the way that the pocket fits. You know what I'm saying? It fits whatever's put into it. So that means that we are not putting, like somebody was like, how do we bring them back? We don't do nothing to bring them back. We just become what we are. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people like to say we gods and we kings, and if we gods and kings, then we a poor example of what a god is. That's blasphemy. If we a king,
Mm,
we a poor example of what a king is, because look at the
mm.
outcome of what we say we are and what our women are gravitating to. We can't
Yep.
blame them. You can't blame the soil for producing bad fruit when the seed is messed up. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's the things that we got to realize, man. It's not these women's fault. They gonna be what they are. You don't get mad at the sun for being hot today. You get in the shade.
it. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Sun's gonna keep shining. That's
it's
for
gonna
sure.
keep shining. Some days it's gonna, you don't like this heat, I'm gonna turn it up tomorrow. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? 'Cause that's what it's designed to do. So we can't be, the ocean is like a woman is like an ocean, and men, we're like the ships on the ocean. We use reality and nature to guide ourselves through, because reality and nature never changes. The ocean's gonna go through all this different, one day it's calm, next day it's wavy, next day it's thunderstorms, tsunamis. You see what I'm saying? So what keeps us in line is we have goals. Once we have goals, we plot the course. No matter what, we stay the course. If you stay the course, she can do whatever she want to do. One day you're going to get to the end of your course. You can choose to get off that ocean, or you can
Hmm.
keep on traveling, doing what you got to do to use you got to get food from the ocean, you eat from it. You know what I'm saying? You use that water for many different things. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand the ocean gonna be the ocean. You can't change the ocean. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot change nothing about it except for stay your course and stay. And that's what we as men need to stay understanding, stay focused on. Plot your course, stay consistent in working that course. And over time, you're gonna reach your destination, and you're gonna look back, and the ocean ain't gonna care if you make it or not. It'll eat you up, or you will get off of it. So
Yeah.
the end result is we'll be more men of stronger quality. We made it through that ocean. No matter how
Yeah.
much her emotions went crazy, we stayed the course and made it through. On the other end, we way stronger than when we first started. But soon as you get on there and you lose your idea, and it start taking you all over the place, then you become Odysseus on the sea, trying to deal with the sirens that's going to smash you against the rocks. You know what I'm saying? With they beautiful music. Oh, this is what I got going on. I'm a boss. I got this business. I got that business. Now you chasing her and what she got, and you smash right into some rocks because you lost your course. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you go to the wrong destination and meet the Circe, who is a witch.
Ooh, you don't want
Don't
that.
care
You
nothing
don't want
about
that.
you. She turns you into an animal. You a male chauvinist pig. You a dog. You see what I'm saying? So she turns you into that. Now you're a capture in a location that you didn't even plan to be, which is mean you living in her house, you under her rules. Now you ain't, and then she could treat you any way she want to, and on top of her treating you negative, she don't even want you no more. She just want to put you in the cage with the other dogs, the other
Mhm.
meat who ain't ish. You
She
see what I'm
found a
saying?
spot for you. You
Man,
know, all you're good for is giving me the 12. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So now you reduced to a physical activity with no brain.
Yeah,
Now you become
exactly.
the tin man or the straw man.
Mhm.
You just there to scare other people off. You don't really have no real, like, how can we say we gods and we ain't even creating nothing? We're not even creating nothing of value. You see what I'm saying? We're not
Yeah,
creating nothing of value except for the children who somebody else finds as a resource and find valuable. When we don't take care of our children and we don't take care of ourselves, where we attract that woman to come to us, somebody else uses that as a human resource. That is the main source of this country and most countries power structure, single women, because they are going to be loyal to how they feel. They're not going to be loyal to how you, because you say you a king. They're going to be loyal to who makes them feel secure, who makes them feel as if what they validates, their boss mentality. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? We, man, yeah, I'm just going off, and man, I'm, on the
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
facts
I mean,
though. That's man.
it ties
Go ahead.
into what our sexual responsibility ultimately has to be. It has to be reclaiming manhood so that we cleaning up the blood and we putting real seeds into the soil that's
Mm-hmm.
going to build the real unity in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where we came from, because nobody is really kicking the principles or kicking the science, the stuff that we heard in the lyrics and in the words,
Hey,
the things that we
well,
went and got and brought back, you know.
yeah, I had old head who I mean he dropped a serious gem on me. He's like, I'm gonna tell you something, young cat. Life is simple as this. Simple
I'll be
question.
right back, fellas.
When you go out someplace, who drives most of the time? Is it you or your wife? I was like, I don't know why. He said, think about that. When y'all go out at night, when y'all go out anywhere, who drives most of the time? You or your wife? I was like, I don't know. He said, I want you to think about that. And I've been thinking about that, and I had a dream, and I was like, holy shit, I know what he means. Simple and plain. When y'all going out, who drives? You or your wife? If your wife does the now, I'm not being sexist. I'm talking symbolism.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
y'all going out someplace and she does most of the driving, that means she in control. That means she's steering the
And
ship.
you
That
relinquish.
means she's
Yeah, yeah,
guiding. You have given up your control and you have told her, look, I will go wherever you go. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. But if you don't know what her plan is, that means you just going along foolhardily, not knowing where you're gonna end up. So you can't be mad if y'all crash. You gave her keys to the
yeah,
car, not knowing one, if she could drive, two, does she know where she going, and three, if somebody
mhm,
cut her off or veer off, does she know how to control the car to maintain control?
right.
You didn't ask none of that. You just hopped in the car and said, "Let's go."
Yeah, that
Man, I
goes.
gotta get off here. I want to throw. I want to throw something out there though. Two things, man. Um, one, that e word got through out there. Equal, right? That's all about being equal. Women all about, a lot of women they want to be equal, or people, they say we equal.
Yeah.
The only thing, well, the what's I'll tell you what's equal. Equal is equal is what comes out of a mathematical equation. You add something to something, it equals more.
Mhm.
You take
Okay.
away something from something, it equals less.
Mhm. Plain and
So,
simple.
so if you add masculine and feminine, it equals more. if you got masculine taken away from feminine or feminine taken away from masculine, it equals less. And that's simple mathematics. That's one thing I wanted to throw out there. Another thing I wanted to say, and I'm this Captain Left Field here before I sign off. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. How much consciousness, a lot of the consciousness that was required or acquired um in regards to the points, some topics that were brought up in this discussion. I gotta attribute to that guy. And I don't look at him like, oh, he the godfather. And you got these dudes knocking them, females knocking them. At the end of the day, ain't nobody got no business knocking them or anybody else or whatever point that they raise. If they raising good points and they boosting the perspective, hey, that's something. But when you taking stuff that or someone's position or perspective on something so harshly, that's on you. Because if it don't apply, let it fly.
That's true. That's true.
And for the most part, people do that. They're not offended by stuff that don't apply to them. When it truly doesn't apply to them, no
Yeah.
problem. Ah, well, that ain't me, so whatever.
Ain't that what
You
the
know,
old saying is? The truth hurts. The truth only hurts when
Sting
you
like a
know.
bitch. Sting
There
you
you
like
know,
a
go.
bitch. That's
you know
why they
the
was crying. That's why people they be crying the blues.
an-
Oh, you a
another thing
misogynist.
too is if you throw a
Yeah.
rock in a pack of dogs, the one that yeps is the one that hits. So you got anybody speaking on something that anybody says because it kind of hurt, it kind of hurts them a little bit. It hit them. You threw a rock and
Hmm.
hit them. So I agree with
All
that.
day, bro. All day because I'm never offended by, you know, the oh, men is this, men is that. If it don't
Yeah.
apply to me, it's not gonna offend me.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Prove it. That's my prove it.
Well, I'm about to flex my sexual responsibility and go spend some time with my wife. So I
Uh,
enjoyed this conversation, but I
no,
need some feminine energy now. So it was yeah.
it's all good, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro, and spending time with us. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this every week if y'all willing to.
I'm down, bro, because this
We
is
on some
Thank you
I
for
want to
motivational.
having
get more.
us.
I want to get more men, different. Not that I don't love y'all. I love y'all, but we need more different brothers, even younger brothers, to come in and drop some gems and get some gems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perspective.
we're gonna stick with us for a while because it takes the situation that we're doing right now. We are at a certain age where we want to kind of like uh you know it takes a while to gel with a group of people. You start adding more people, you got
That's
to go
true.
through a process of gelling with them. Like, I'd rather get this down, and every now and then, like, there's a couple of brothers I want to bring in, and when I bring them in, I want them to come in and really have lived through something and did some. Young brothers, I ain't taking nothing against them. They are just now running. They just got out there running.
That's
They
true.
gonna come on and give their perspective. Of course, they can always tap in the chat, their perspective. We can address their questions because we really want to keep it like um we want to keep a certain format and a certain quality. If we
I
have a
feel
bunch
you.
of people in, they not gonna understand where we at as far as like dealing with our quality, raising our quality, because we're dealing with uh, men of quality, men who
Real
have
talk.
understand the difference between uh, you know uh, a poor quality and someone who's actually working on it. And not to say that they're not, but we want to just stay contained right now. And they can
Oh,
they can they can like I don't know if you guys can see this, but the chat.
Man, yeah, I'm just now seeing it. I was on the private side. I'm seeing, man, we even had brothers in here the whole night.
Yeah, the
yeah,
private
yeah.
chat is when we want to share information
Is
and
that
talk
right?
back and forth. Yeah, if you go to
Yeah,
the comment section, there's people that's in the chat like been all night.
Yeah, man,
Sharing.
brother Ron, brother Craig, peace to all y'all. If
Yeah,
y'all still in here, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
yeah.
John, what's
So
up,
See
that
John?
Hughes
I
in
like
the
that.
building.
I like
Yo,
that better than I like bringing miscellaneous, because right now even we got to work on the quality of the way we speak, not using curse words,
Yeah,
being able to speak with a certain level that's not offensive to people. So as time goes and this will become monetized, this will be a way that we can, you know, earn some residual income. Not just me, you brothers stick with me and flow with me. We all get a part of this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but
word,
that's
word.
that's what I'm thinking. So you know, uh,
I'm down for that.
but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end this. We are like 2 hours in right now. I don't know if y'all realize that we've been on here for
yeah,
2 hours.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
That's
All right,
the
man. Let me shout to these guys real quick. C. Hughes,
yep,
Ron, Mr. Ronald Harvey. Hustle
yep.
Made
yeah, man.
man. Thanks
Them
for
was all brothers, man. Them was
Sabek
all brothers, man.
Rahib,
the bill.
you know what I'm saying? Dom,
Sabik Raheru.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dominique, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get Sabek on. That brother right there. He was in spiritual training with me. That brother is no joke. He got his own little rites of passage. We got definitely got to bring him on. He's into yoga. He's a deep brother. He trains heavy, you know what I'm saying, as far as keeping his body right, keeping it tight. He's trying to be a centurion, reach that 100 mark. So we want to bring him in one day and talk about, health and wellness and how we can like start to maybe even build our own rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? To where even if it's just for our children, you know what I'm saying? I'm real big on getting that first community right. So yeah, but I think we got a couple of viewers on. We having viewers all night. The viewer count been going up and down. So I like to give a shout out to all the viewers.
yeah,
Like,
but
share, subscribe.
respect to you too, for life. Brother Butters moderating too. I seen you was responding to him the whole night. So
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
and
I'm trying
keeping
to
that
keep
up and
multi.
still keeping the chat,
Yeah,
he doing
going.
it. He doing his Bryant Gumbel
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, that's so dope. Yeah, respect to you for that,
oh
bro.
shit, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Let me see if
yeah,
this.
you was responding to cats and everything the whole way. So
Now I know how to add.
that's dope.
I know how to
Boom.
add. Yeah.
Yo, that's dope. How you do
Yeah,
that?
Um. I think only maybe I can do it, but you just go to the
yeah,
to the my battery about to curse. You go to the chat and then it says show, and you can show whoever you can show whatever person did what.
yeah, man. It's all good, man. I know brothers got to get out of here. You know,
Yeah.
respect. To everybody, man. Y'all know I love y'all. Good seeing y'all faces and hearing y'all voices.
Yep. So
Yeah,
next man, y'all got some topics, man. Let's get together, discuss these topics, and narrow them down so we can go ahead and do our little study and come on and bless again. You know what I'm saying, and get our numbers up, and get our audience up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Boy,
I'm gonna
do I
bring this.
ever.
I'm gonna be on another podcast Friday, so I'm gonna bring this up, and this one that's gonna be a female led one that I'm gonna be a part of. So I'm gonna bring this up. You know,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna definitely
yeah,
bring this up to Mook and them because hey man, I'm gonna see we need to make this see we can add this to the new joint. So I'm gonna see if I
yeah,
can do my little salesman pitch.
yeah. You know, just everybody add on. Bring the resources together. But yeah, let's keep this locked in right now because this was definitely a good first show. You know,
All right.
And if
Yeah.
we're gonna keep doing this, then we definitely gonna have to have some merchandise like some tees, some ball caps, some mugs or something.
We
Cause
discussed
Hey,
that. We discussed that
that's
offline. Yeah.
that's your jurisdiction, man.
Yeah.
hey,
so
I'll do it. I'll throw
we
my
did
magic
it.
to it, my Midas touch.
Yes,
Hey,
sir. We
hey,
did it, man. You know I'm rocking it.
we got I got barses.
Hey,
Everybody else got them. These guys got beats and barses. You
Yeah.
know
hey, it's
all that.
whatever. I,
Yeah.
I told
We're
Fly I'll
officially
be up
set.
there like in a month, so we got definitely to sit down and have a powwow.
Are you just
Yes,
coming? You coming to look? You coming to look around though, right? Before y'all make that transition.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about what I'm trying to do is trying to open up my flagship store. I'm deciding where we're gonna do that at, and then where I'm gonna settle down at. Right now we're in Charlotte, which is cool, but I kind of want to bring something back to the hood.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
figure with the power and the connections that I've developed on my end, I bring that to KC. Man, look, I'm talking about big money, like names, like for real, for real. So I'm trying to bring
It's
that shit
up.
to the show me
It's up
state.
down here too, bro. It's up. Like it's a lot of we seeing the residuals from them championships in 2015 and 2019. That's all about to pour into the city. The airport's about to be finished, but we'll talk
So
about that in another build.
Yeah. We just a lot of building we need to get on to get
I
prepared.
did this sweatsuit for my homeboy, and it's a combination of the KC Chiefs and the Kansas City Royals logo, and it says "We Breed Champions," and I took.
Keep that private. There's a lot of cats needing ideas. Keep that shit private. Yeah, so we can build on that and get our shit together on the low and low. Yeah,
I'm letting you know, son.
yeah,
Hey,
keep that
your
private.
boy, I didn't sharpen my sword. I'm now on some Sub-Zero type shit. I didn't sharpen my sword. So yeah, I'm on my A game. When y'all ready, y'all let the kid know. Until then, y'all know y'all can find me.
All right, fellas.
Yes,
Good
sir.
looking out, man. I appreciate y'all,
Yeah.
man. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, man.
Yep.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Peace.